All right, guys, awesome freaking day for the country. Awesome day for crypto. I was up pretty much till 3 in the morning, even though the election was pretty much over at like 9:30. It looked like Trump was going to win, but I want to hear Trump's speech. I want to watch all the liberal news organizations go completely crazy, which they did. We're going to play a little bit of clips, but guys, Trump won the election, and this is what we've been talking about for the last year with crypto. I always said the one thing that could screw up this bull run is if a liberal Democrat communist gets elected and they basically just destroy the bull run, go after Bitcoin, and destroy the economy. That's not going to happen now. Another thing we said on this channel was if Trump gets elected, Bitcoin's going to blow past all-time highs within 30 seconds. It actually happened before he got elected. As the poly markets showed Trump going up and Camilla's chances going down, Bitcoin blew past 73,000, up to 75,000. Now we're at about 74,000, heading back up to 75,000. Not just a Bitcoin pump, your altcoins are pumping as well. Meme coins going crazy. Dogecoin, essentially to the moon. You have to understand now that Elon Musk is going to have a position with the Trump administration. Elon Musk helped Trump get elected, so Elon Musk can now pretty much do whatever he wants. If he wants to shield Doge, Sheeb, whatever Elon Musk wants now, he's going to get, and that basically opens the door to Doge. I wouldn't even be surprised if Doge ends up being the biggest performer going into this bull run. I mean, at this point in history, if I could go back in time, if I could go back in time a year, I'd probably have 90%, 95% of my portfolio in Doge. I mean, that's how serious this is. This is like no fucking joke. So everything's pumping, altcoins pumping. Listen to Crypto Ran this morning. While some altcoins are pumping, a lot are, they're still not back to where they were last month. Right now, this is kind of a primarily Bitcoin, and then we haven't hit that full-blown alt season yet, which should be coming soon. The doors have now been opened for alt season. Does that mean we're not going to get a little bit of a correction back down to $70,000? It doesn't mean that. Listen to Rand this morning talking about how there was a big trade involved. Is Trump going to get elected? Is Camilla going to get elected? And a lot of people were trading that. Now that trade is over. It has ceased to be. Actually, we can play a little bit of Rand as well. So that you got to think about that. Could those people who are trading it essentially get out? But Rand also was talking about how a lot of people who were afraid to get into crypto. I actually have some people in my family who were afraid to get into crypto because they were so afraid of what Kamala Harris can do. Everything Democrats touch, guys, turns to shit. Crypto, the economy, your cities, everything. Like anywhere you see that Democrats have their hand on it, it's like third world country. It's basically Haiti. And going back to this election, not only did Donald Trump win the popular vote, he won the Electoral College. This election was a referendum against Democrats and liberals. Everything woke. People are sick of the wokeness. They're sick of the fucking trannies. They have to worry about playing sports with their kids. They're sick of the fucking dudes with dicks who decide to be a woman for the day, going into the bathroom with your 6-year-old girl. We're fucking sick of it. Democrats lost in a historic landslide, electoral and popular vote. People don't want anything to do with Democrats anymore. We hate them. We want them annihilated. They have destroyed this country. And we're going to play a little bit of Chris Matthews talking about, who is a Democrat, talking about why Democrats lost this election. Okay, let's listen to Crypto Ran a little bit, just talking about how this is it was kind of a trade, and we're going to see what's going to happen.
We got a similar trade this morning. So I don't know if you guys are watching, and I'll take you to the hourly. First, there was news that Trump was actually elected or almost elected. We went up to 75,397. Then we dumped, and we went back to 72,709. And now I think we are starting the next part of the trade. So I think there's a lot of people, there's a cohort of people that traded the news. They basically said, look, we believe that Trump's going to win, and we're trading as if we believe that Trump's going to win. And those people have got what they came for. And so now what they're doing is they're leaving, and they're allowing a whole cohort of new people who are looking for something completely different to be part of the trade. So there are some people who wanted Trump to win. They came for that trade. Then there were some people sitting on the sideline saying, we will only get into crypto if Trump wins, and then we know that the environment is much more friendly. That's really where the big money is sitting. So that is what the trade looks like. Now, let's quickly look at what is actually happening on the election front. So, on the election front, you have Trump, who's now the president. He's got 277 seats. Kamala Harris has got 224 seats.
Anyway, so we had the first leg of the run. There were a lot of people trading crypto last night. Thought about doing it myself, but I was just too freaking busy, and I was just too tired, and I was just too interested in watching the election. But those people are kind of out right now, but now you have a whole new horde of people for the new trade. The new trade is, what's going to happen when Trump gets in? You know, what's the new policy going to be? Is Gary Gensler going to be fired? Obviously he is. So now you have a whole group of people flooding into crypto. I think that's going to continue over the coming weeks, coming months. Guys, I mean, I'm so fucking bullish on crypto right now. Not only am I bullish on crypto, I'm bullish on the country. Like this could not have worked out any better. Part of my thing was, well, is Trump going to win this election by like a hair, and then the Democrats are going to be like saying he cheated, or are they going to say that, no, we got to recount the votes, it's going to go to court? No, he won in a landslide. So anything Trump wants to do, he can come back and say, electoral college I won and popular vote. You can't stop me. I'm doing it. He's going to come in. We're going to deport all these fucking illegal immigrants. I drive through Baltimore City. You guys know I'm a private investigator. Illegals everywhere. Illegal immigrants everywhere. Every time I go to get a job, I work in the security detective business. Half the security jobs are now taken by illegals that aren't even citizens of the United States. A lot of them are good people. It's not their fault, but the country has to have some sort of law and order where people come in on a system and earn their citizenship. You know, you can drive through Baltimore City right now. You'll see illegals everywhere walking up and down the street. You go through New York City, everywhere, Central Park, Times Square, illegals everywhere. And they're committing 80% of all the crimes. So we're gonna play a little bit about Chris Matthews talking about why Democrats lost, and it totally makes sense. I almost got a little emotional with Chris Matthews. I'm not a big fan of his, but at least he's an old school Democrat. He's like my parents who are Democrats, like a Bill Clinton Democrat. He gets it. And he's just basically talking about, what the fuck did the Democrats do? They turned into the tranny? They turned into the ladyboy, transsexual drag queen party? They left the borders wide open? It's crazy. So we're going to play a little bit of that. I thought it was really good. He kind of just, narrows down why they lost.
Redder and redder, and therefore he was going to do better in those areas and maybe enough to overcome the suburbs, and he did. And I think that's it, and it's all about immigration and the economy, but immigration has been a terrible decision for Democrats. I don't know who they think they were playing to when they let millions of people come cruising through the border at their own will. Because of their own decisions, they came running through that border, and they didn't do a thing about it, and a lot of people are very angry about that. Working people especially, they feel that they've been betrayed, they feel that their country has been given away, and they don't like it. And I don't know who liked it. The Hispanics apparently didn't like it. They want the law enforced. And so I'm not sure they were playing to anything that was smart here in terms of an open border. And that's what it is, an open border. And I think it's a bad decision. I hope they learn from it. The economy, I think you can talk all you want about rates of inflation going down. What people do is they remember what the price of something was, whether it's gas or anything or cream cheese or anything else, and they'll say, I can remember when it was $2, now it's $7. And
Right.
they remember in the last 5 years. That's how people think. Democrats don't know how people think anymore. They think about their country, they think about the cost of things, and the working people figure, well, all these college kids, all the ones who went to elite universities, all looking down on us. Besides all this, we're getting condescension and deplorables and all that stuff. And they felt it, and they voted that way. It's for real.
I mean, and the thing is, you talk about the college kids,
Yeah, he pretty much summed it up. He goes on to talk. He actually says something else that really struck me. I was listening to it when I was driving. I almost got a little emotional hearing it. I'm going to play that right now.
The Democrat, a more conservative Republican. I think like Margaret Thatcher and Merkel and people like that, and maybe Hillary was right. She had to be a little tougher on war issues, because if you're going to run as a woman, all three strikes can't be against you. Woman of color, that you're a woman, and that you're weak on defense or weak on spending, You know, the Democrats have got to stop all this spending. I mean, my wife loves to argue. She's a big Democrat. She says, you know, the economy's in great shape. I said, yeah, the more government spends money, the more it does, the more it jacks up prices. It just does. That's what you do during a recession. You spend more money. If you spend more money, the prices of things go up, and that's a fact. And the Democrats never addressed that. They just went right past the graveyard and said, oh, no, we don't know how this inflation came to be. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
We don't understand the border problem. Yes, we do understand the border problem. As a guy said to me, why does the little man love his country? Because it's all he's got. And if you're down in the dumps and you see your country being overrun from people from another country who just decide to come in for economic reasons, you're going to get mad about that.
Now, the thing I don't get is why wasn't Chris Matthews saying this for the last couple of years? So a lot of times after the election, these guys kind of think about all the problems and they actually make some sense. But that really hit me. Like if you're a regular guy, working class guy, like me and everyone else, and you're seeing your beautiful country being overrun by these illegals from third world countries. You know, we have a system here where you're polite. You say, excuse me, when you're in the grocery store. You see a homeless person, maybe you give them a couple dollars. When you go to a restaurant, you're eating a certain way, you're behaving a certain way, and you see these third world Neanderthals from Haiti, El Salvador, wherever. And it doesn't mean there's not great people from Haiti. I ran an Airbnb. I had some great people from actually Haiti, a businesswoman stay at my place when I had an Airbnb. But they're not the ones coming here illegally. It's the lowest of the low. The people who eat cats, the people who eat dogs, the people who live on the streets, the gang members, the people who grew up in a junkyard and they don't know how to behave. And when you throw them into a civilized culture, by millions and millions, they turn your country and your neighborhood, which was once nice, into a third world country. That's why Democrats lost. They lost because of the wokeness. They lost it because of the crime. Again, I'm in the detective, the security world. Half my friends are cops. They all are looking to retire. They all hate being cops. They all hate law enforcement. They say it's a disaster. Any city cop you talk to, county cop, they tell you it's the worst decision they ever made. Getting into that profession, they're all looking to get out. That's all because of what liberal Democrats have done to law and order. They've taken the side of the criminals, and people are sick of it. Trump, Republicans won in a landslide. The Democrats are finished. The wokeness is finished. You know, they tried to go against Trump and say, oh, the Hispanics aren't going to vote for Trump because he had a comedian, an insult comedian, insult a Puerto Rican. People don't give a shit about that. My best friend's Italian. I call him a fucking wop every fucking day. And he calls me a hairy Greek. Like, he calls me a hairy, sneaky little fucking hairy Greek. And then I call him, well, I say you're a wop. You guys can look at the line from True Romance. I'm not going to say it. You know, where Dennis Hopper is getting interrogated by the mobsters. That's what I call him back. And we're best friends. And we've been best friends since we're the age of 13. We don't get offended by little stupid shit like that, like the Democrats do. The Democrats, their whole life is, oh, am I offending this person? Did I say the right thing? Did I say the wrong thing? That's not how normal people think. When I go out with my friends, and some of my friends are very successful, and you know, I'm a middle class person myself, we talk crazy. We talk like an insult comic to each other, and we don't give a shit. That's how normal people talk. So the Democrats saying, oh my God, they had a comic insult a Puerto Rican who's an insult comic. Nobody gives a shit. This is what the Democrats don't understand. The rest of the world doesn't care. That's how we talk to each other. It's fun. Joking around with each other is fun. Stereotypes are fun. And that's why I think wokeness has died. The tranny issue, you're not going to hear about it. The women, the fake women in sports, the men dressing up as women playing in female sports, I think that's all over now. The way the Democrats lost this election is historic. And this was not just the death of Kamala Harris and the Democrat Party as she knows it. This was the death of wokeness and everything wrong with the country. The open borders are done. Donald Trump's going to round up all these fucking illegals that came in, and he's going to send them back. And that's what he should do. We need to get this country back to law and order. Anyway, so going back to crypto, what does that mean for crypto? It means really good things, guys. We're going to have a great bull market. You know, I fully expect Bitcoin now to hit $150,000 minimum. maybe even more. I fully expect Dogecoin to probably get over $1. Solana's probably going to get to $1,000. You know, as much as I wasn't a fan of Solana, all of my top predictions for these cryptocurrencies are probably going to happen. I know Cardano hasn't done much. It's always an underperformer. I'm not happy about it, but I still fully expect Cardano to get to be between $5, $10, maybe even $15. Your Theta is going to get to $25. Your SHIB, you know, up thousands of percent from here. You name your coin, it's going to do well now because of everything going on in politics. That doesn't mean we're not going to have pullbacks. That doesn't mean next week something might happen that takes Bitcoin back down to $70,000. But I think the road has been paved, and we're going to have an epic, epic bull market. All right, guys. Good times. Like and subscribe. Talk to you later.